Hey guys, welcome to my first video for small cat crochet. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a tiny crochet cat. If you're a beginner at crochet, this tutorial should be doable for you. We'll only be using a couple of simple crochet stitches to create this adorable little kitten. Let's get started. To create this cat, you'll need yarn in your desired cat color, crochet hook, I'm using a 3.5mm hook, a sturdy needle with a decent sized hole, big enough for threading yarn, black and cream or pink colored thread for embroidering the face, and stuffing to stuff the body. We're going to start with the body of the cat. I'm going to make 4 stitches in a magic circle, but if you don't know how to do that, you can always just chain 4 stitches and slip stitch into your first stitch to create a circle. Once I have my 4-stitch circle, I'm going to do 2 single stitches in each stitch around, giving me 8 stitches in my second row. For my third row, I'm going to do 1 single stitch in my first stitch, and then 2 in the next, and repeat around. After this row, I'll have 12 stitches along. Next row, I'll do a single stitch in the first 2 stitches, and then 2 single stitches in the third, and repeat around, giving me 16 stitches. By increasing in this way, I'm creating a gradual sphere-like build for my cat's body. My next row will be a single stitch in the first 3 stitches and 2 in the fourth. I'll have 20 stitches after this, which I think is a good plumpness for a cat. Don't you agree? My next 3 rows, I'll do a single stitch in each stitch, maintaining the width of my cat. This will be the fattest part of his belly. After these 3 rows, I'm going to start decreasing chains to finish off the body. I'll start by doing 1 single stitch in the first 3 stitches, and then doing a decreased stitch. To do this stitch, you're going to pull through your next stitch once, as if you're starting a single stitch, but instead of finishing it, you'll pull through the next stitch as if to start a single stitch in that one. Then you'll pull through everything on your hook, making 2 stitches into 1. I'll repeat this pattern the whole way around. If you find that the decreased stitch is too complicated, you can also just as easily skip the stitch and move to the next one. It won't make too much difference in your final project. You'll continue decreasing in a similar pattern to how you increased the width originally. Next row will be 1 single stitch and 2 chains, followed by a decreased stitch, then 1 single stitch and 1 chain, followed by a decreased stitch, and then a decreased stitch in all stitches around. The pattern in the description box will have a detailed outline of this, but it should mirror your increase from the beginning of the body. When your cat is starting to close up, be sure to add some stuffing to the body. Be sure to tie off the body with a long tail for sewing. The head will begin similar to the body, 4 stitches in a circle, and increase the same way. However, instead of increasing until you have 20 stitches around, you're going to stop increasing at 16 and make 3 rows of 16 chains around. Now the major difference of the head. After your 3 rows of 16, you're going to want to stuff the head and then fold in half, aligning the stitches on either side. Now you're going to create the ears while sewing the head shut. You'll start by chaining 1, then double crocheting into the first 2 stitches. This will create the ear. Next, you're going to sew the head across until the last joining stitch using slip stitches. At the final joining stitch, you'll double crochet, then chain 1, then slip stitch into the side of the head. Tie this off, trim the string, and tuck the yarn inside the head so that it can't be seen. Now you have your head. Next, you'll make 2 tiny cat feet. They'll just be tiny nubs to help the cat sit upright. You're going to chain 4 in a circle, just like the head and the body, and then crochet 1 stitch in each. After 1 row, you'll tie off with a long tail, and then repeat for a second foot. The tail is a little more up to you. First, you'll chain 4 stitches in a circle, then crochet 1 stitch in each chain around several times until you get a long cylinder. You can do this until it seems long enough to wrap halfway around the body of the cat, which will probably about 10 to 13 rows. So now you've got your body, head, 2 feet, and a tail. You're going to want to sew each part onto the body. You'll sew the head using the long tail from the body piece. You'll sew the 2 feet nubs under the head so that the cat can sit upright. The tail will attach at the back of the cat, but rather than letting it hang backwards, I'm going to sew my thread through the cat body and onto one side, and then tack the tail against the body. Look! You've got a cat! You can stop here for a minimalist, kind of avant-garde cat, or continue with the black and cream thread to embroider the cat. So a disclaimer on my embroidery skills here, but basically I just tried to make tiny black knots for the eyes and then embroider a nose and little cat mouth. This part is kind of tricky, but just play around with it until you've got a face you like. So that's all there is to it. I'll have the written pattern down below for a detailed tutorial, and hopefully you can use the video to help you along. I made a second cat based off my own cat, but I think he loves them both equally. Well, that's all there is to it. Thank you for watching, and happy crafting!